What's up, guys? So today we're going to be installing the AFE Power Mach Force XP exhaust on the Grand Cherokee. So this is for the WK2 platform. It's a Catback system. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, how to get the old exhaust off hopefully, and how the install is going to go. I'm going to do this in my driveway using jack stands like every good mechanic does. So stick around. Alright, so this is going to be kind of a sort of cold start with the factory exhaust just for some demonstrative purposes. You can see how quiet it sounds. So I know I said I was going to put it on jack stands, but I honestly feel like there's probably enough clearance under here that I can crawl my scrawny ass up underneath there. I'm probably just going to end up having to remove this side step to get it, but it really shouldn't be a problem. And I had a tarp over the box, and it rained the last couple days, and like a dumbass I decided to lift the tarp up, and so now my workspace is wet. So that's pretty cool, but a real man lays in the wet spot, so let's get at it. Okay, so we got these side steps taken off. As far as bolts go on the system, it looks like there's only 3 of them. This is a 13 millimeter. There's one on the other side here, and I don't know offhand what size that is. It's, if I had to guess, probably maybe a 15 mil. I'll reconfirm that. But the only other things to contend with are you have these exhaust hangers. So I'm gonna put a little bit of lubricant on those, and they should slide right off. But I'm gonna loosen these up first, and then unhook everything from the exhaust hangers. Okay, so I am in the middle of swapping the exhaust on the Jeep. Currently I have the old exhaust completely ripped off and am about to install the new exhaust, but I'm fucking curious. I want to know what this beast sounds like without an exhaust, so let's start it up real quick and find out. Oh, she sounds fucking healthy. Son, we might keep it without an exhaust. So I've got the new exhaust laid out kind of next to the old one, as you can see. So you know, you got this Y pipe, you got a mid pipe, you got your muffler, you got another pipe that will go on here, and then you'll clamp your 4.5 inch exhaust tip to it. You can get this in a polished steel. I chose black because, well, I have an altitude, so everything else is black on the Jeep, so that obviously has to be black. The kit also does come with all of the hardware. You know, you got a couple like clamps and do that. So yeah, we're gonna start working on it and go from there. I'm trying to get the new exhaust installed, so I got the Y pipe kind of mocked in. I've had it in and out a few different times because things just weren't lining up correctly. What I've discovered, or at least what I believe to be true, is that you are supposed to reuse the old exhaust mounts, but the instructions don't state this. I'm going to assume that you will need to unhook the old mounts and reverse them in order to get the flanges to fit, because I don't think they're gonna stretch that gap. I mean, that's 6 inches all day. So that's a little tip for you guys. If you're using the same exhaust system, you might have to swap those out. I'm going to reverse them and hope everything lines up and get back with you. So I just swapped the exhaust mounts for the Y pipe. There's one on the passenger side and there's another one on the driver's side. So basically I just unbolted the bolts. They're half, let's see if I can get it. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm lost in it. Right there it is. Okay, so yeah, they're 1/2 inch bolts. I just unbolted each bracket and just flip-flop the sides, and as you can see now, the little flange is going to line up a lot better. So again, I don't know why they didn't mention that in the instructions. I feel like that's a handy piece of information to let people know, because I thought for a second this was not going to fit, but I did kind of test fit. I put the mid pipe in place just to make sure everything's going to line up correctly and that I didn't just put the Y pipe in backwards. So it's in correctly. So if you guys do purchase this exhaust system, just know that you will have to probably swap these out from side to side. So it's not a big deal. Like I said, it's 4 bolts, half inch, and they're not like torqued on there, so they come off easily. So I'm going to go ahead and finish mocking everything up and get everything in place, and then we will tighten it all down and see how she sounds. Okay, so once you get everything mocked up, you will want to go ahead and try to get everything hanging in the new or the existing OEM exhaust hangers. Try to get all your clamps and stuff lined up where they need to be, and then you can go ahead and start tightening everything down. So you get 4 bolts for the Y pipes, 2 for each side. The bolt heads themselves are a 5/8 inch socket, and the nuts are 11/16. So if you do use a socket on the nuts, you're going to want to use a deep well. I ended up just using a box end wrench and used a ratchet on the bolt itself with the 5/8. So from there, those are really the only bolts on there. The new hangers that come with it, you'll need to clamp those down. Those are a 15 millimeter nut on those, so pretty standard. You just start from the front and work back. Now the kit did come with an extra exhaust hanger, and that is because you will utilize the exhaust hanger bracket that wasn't being used but was already in place from the factory. So with the old system, the pipe kind of came in over here and just utilized this one, but it had this because I'm assuming, you know, with the other models that have like the 5.7 with the dual exhaust, it's just easier for them that way. So from what I've heard, you guys can, like, if you wanted to put like a 5.7 exhaust on your 3.6, it's possible to do, but I really didn't want to try to fabricate anything in my driveway to make that work. So, but yeah, so all of your exhaust clamps, like I said, are 15 millimeter bolt or a socket. So tighten those all the way down here and here and here. So right now I have everything tightened down. I'm going to kind of clean everything up, and then we will fire this up and hear what she sounds like. Alright, so the new exhaust is on. Let's fire this baby up and see if she sounds a little rowdy. Alright, so we're about to get on the highway. I've got the windows closed so you'll be able to hear from inside the cabin what it sounds like. And it looks like we're clear, so. Alright, we're at 75 now, so. You can hear it a little bit. You know, it's definitely louder than the stock exhaust. But, you know, we're doing highway speed 70 right now, and it's not really droning. So, of course, the butt dyno says that we gained like 100 horsepower, but I know that's not true. So, I mean, it does feel a little bit more responsive, but it could be in my head. So, I'm not going to throw this on a dyno just because I put an exhaust on it. But it definitely has a little throatier response to it, like sound wise. It's not nearly as quiet, but yeah, I mean, all in all, it doesn't sound bad. If you guys notice the road cones, that's this sign that it's summer in Michigan, in case you guys aren't from around this area. So, just got done with my first little test drive with the new exhaust. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on it. I'll start off by saying that I'm pretty happy with how things turned out. Now I will say, just so you guys understand, you will never make a V6 sound like a V8. So, does it have that deep throaty rumble that you would hear out of like the 5.7 Hemis? No. But it does not sound bad. It's a little bit louder than the factory exhaust, but it's not obnoxious. You go on the highway, it's not droning in your ears or anything like that. Matter of fact, the new tires that I put on, those are Nito Terra grapplers. I put those on the other day. Those actually make more road noise than what the exhaust does at highway speeds. So overall, that's something, you know, that I was actually kind of looking for. You know, this is a daily driver. I don't want something that's just going to be annoying to drive all the time. That being said, I do wish it was a little bit louder, just so it was a little more noticeable, but you know, I'm not complaining. So, you know, it's not going to set off car alarms or anything like that when you start it up, which is good. But it definitely, you know, it feels more responsive. You know, I don't have any dyno testing that I'm going to do with it to give you guys some numbers on it. But I mean, I would expect a little bit of an increase, I'm sure. So, but overall, you know, I'm pretty happy with it, like I said. So there's other kits available. I think Corsa makes Catbacks, and Borla might make a Catback. I know Magnaflow does. These retail for about $1,000. I managed to catch it on Summit Racing on sale for like $770, which was a hell of a price. So I went with that route. And it's not like AFE is some no-name brand that no one's ever heard of. You know, they've got a pretty good reputation, especially with, you know, Mopar guys. So it almost has me thinking though that I might want to add a cold air intake or short ram, whatever they want to call them nowadays. Either way, I know they don't really add a whole lot of power, and some people have proven that they actually take away power. I don't really care. The sound is sweet that you get from them, and that's really what I'm kind of looking for. So hopefully before too long somebody will come out with an actual turbo kit for these things. Right now all that's out there on the market is a supercharger kit, so I'm planning and budgeting for that, but I really would like to turbo this thing because turbos are a hell of a lot cooler than superchargers. So anyways, that's my little spiel on this. Like I said, overall I'm pretty happy with it. The install went very smoothly. Wasn't difficult at all. Did it in my driveway with hand tools, and came with everything you needed to do it. So if you guys like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because there's going to be more Jeep stuff coming along. I can guarantee it.